Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the CCS podcast by yours truly, Jordan Schaefer and Pastor Hagen Miller. Pastor, how are you today?
I'm good, Jordan. How are you?
I'm doing just dandy. I had a really good weekend of putting down fence, some electric fence for my dogs, because I know some people have been talking to me about my dogs getting out. Well,
Everyone's got a strategy, right?
Yeah, everyone's got their advice, and I appreciate all of it. But rest easy, rest assured. Some electric fence have been put up, and it's really rocked my dog's world.
Okay.
The one is kind of working good because he's kind of smart and he's figured it out. The other one's just terrified. He just walks around. He's so paranoid. He just says, "Yeah," but we're gonna get him used to it.
Sure.
And I think it will be a good thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, you helped me get up some other fence this weekend.
Oh, you don't have to mention that.
So that was nice of you. And
I was just sick and helped you, and then was not able to go to church the next day because you worked so hard.
Because I worked you too hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
But I got even with you because I just had you fill in for me. So
Yes.
like, this will teach you.
I'm sure that was all even. Yeah. An even amount of work.
Yeah.
But yeah, how you feeling?
Better. Still a little more coffee today than ever.
More coffee, like
Coughing, yeah.
Not coffee.
Not coffee.
Yeah,
but
okay.
just coughing.
Yeah, so you don't usually drink coffee.
Yeah, it kind of started in the sinus, and now it's still there, but not as much pressure. But I'm on the downhill side of it.
You think
so
you're doing
good.
better?
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you had Sunday just to rest and recoup.
Yeah, I actually slept quite a bit on and off.
That's good.
Minus the time you were beating down my door.
Please.
Minus the time you called me twice, I ignored you, and then you beat down my door.
I had gifts for you.
Thank you very much.
Yes, from Brittany. Yes. You got Last Chance Pizza the other night?
That's true as well.
Yeah. How was that?
Good. I got a Hawaiian personal pizza.
Actually, I got Last Chance Pizza last night as well.
Really?
Yeah, because Sammy came to Young Adults, and then he was like, "I gotta go. Me and Chris are going to Last Chance." And I was like, "Really?" And he knows how much I like Last Chance, and so he got me a little personal pizza.
You went with them, or
No, well, he left early. I stayed, and then I pulled up, and they were just waiting for the food to be made, sitting there. And he texted me like, "Yeah, Chris is buying, so I got you a personal pizza." And I said, "Thank you, Sammy."
Hey,
So
what
fun.
flavor did you get?
He got me chicken bacon ranch, which is all right. I probably would.
Samuel, next time.
Next time, pepperoni is pretty good. Chicken bacon ranch is great. I'm not complaining, but
Just like a nice
I like
pepperoni.
the pepperoni from Last Chance.
Nice
yeah.
Greasy.
Delicious.
You would like that.
It always gets my tummy a little rumbly, but it's good.
It's worth it.
Oh,
it's
it's
kind of
worth it.
exciting.
Yeah.
It's like, what should I do?
Whoa.
If I go too far away from home, we might have a problem.
You never know. Yeah, that's Papa John's that gives you problems. Last Chance has never given me that kind of problem. That extreme problem. Well, Hagen,
Genesis 7.
do you want to talk a little bit about the state of our world right now?
Are there things going on?
There are some
in
big
our
things
globe?
going on. I mean, by the time this drops on Friday,
Who knows?
Oh, who knows what's going to be going on. But for those of you who don't know, we've killed the supreme leader.
By we mean Israel, but we all know what that means.
Yeah. Israel killed them. It's like, yeah, I'm sure we helped out with a bit. But the supreme leader, the Ayatollah, is dead.
He was 86, I heard. So, I mean, he was on his way out.
Sure, but we also killed the president and all these other leaders too. So we really took out that leadership team. I don't know what to call it.
That's right.
And now hopefully the people of Iran will rise up and create a democracy. Is that what we're hoping for?
I think we think everyone needs to be a democracy, but yeah, I think something like that would be a good idea.
Because
we have the prince living here, right? The son of the prince of Iran, who wants to maybe run it, but he won't say it, but he wants to.
Yes.
And he wants to give
because
them freedom.
Iran used to be a monarchy. Right. And that's when it was really prosperous and kind of free. And then the people rebelled and turned it into this dictatorship.
Right. This Islamic state.
And now it's now do we go back to a monarchy? You know, we in America, we're not the biggest fans of monarchy.
That's right.
But I don't know. So it's kind of a interesting situation. But it's also cool to see that Russia and China have not really done anything as of now to help.
Yeah.
They kind of just letting their friend Iran
Have you seen
wander.
those Kim Jong-un memes?
No.
But it's like when you have all the toys, but no one invites you to play. He's just like walking around all sad, like these shots of him all sad, because
No.
like he wants in on the nuclear action. And it's like he just, but he always looks sad anyway because he's just like this chubby Asian.
Yeah.
It's funny
It's pretty crazy.
when you have all the toys, but no one invites
I've seen
you to
on
play.
Instagram these reels of him with like his daughter, like actually
With
on
Kim?
Yeah, is that her name?
No, Kim Jong-un.
Yeah, Kim Jong-un with his daughter named
Kimmy?
Kimmy, I don't know. And it's just like him being all sweet and nice and making her laugh. And it's like when your favorite dictator is just a girl dad. He's just like a nice guy.
Yeah.
But yeah,
North Korea is very interesting.
it's great. Well, yeah,
It's probably the most interesting thing going on in our planet right now.
Sure.
As far as just like there's a whole country that is like you can't even really fly over it. Or if you do, like you have to close your window. Like it's so weird. And they're just so controlled.
yeah.
And to think that that exists today is crazy.
Yeah, it's insane that we allow that to exist. And they do all these executions of their own people, and it's terrible, and slave camps. And it's just
Yeah.
like, how do we let this happen?
Yeah.
And it's just like, well,
Well, you know why?
why?
They don't have much oil. We don't care. We only care about countries with oil.
Yeah,
Venezuela,
they're the ones that deserve freedom.
Iran.
Yeah, North Korea is like, sorry.
There's plenty of problems going on in Africa countries, but we don't care about that because they have no resources we want.
Yeah, that is sometimes how it goes.
But I am glad about the whole Iran thing.
I think that's a good thing.
I mean, you and I both have friends that live in Iran,
We do.
and to my knowledge, you're all very happy about this.
I think they are.
And so I see that as ultimately, hopefully, a positive thing,
Yeah.
as long as it doesn't just open up this vacuum
Something
for
worse.
worse thing to take
Yeah,
place.
but I don't know if you can get worse. But
it's exciting, and not to share too much.
Don't.
But,
We might have to take this down.
Yeah, I mean, there's a great work that's been going on inside of Iran. Work meaning the work of the Lord, and this could really be opening the doors wide open for freedom, for some groundwork that has been being laid, not just by us, but we've got the privilege of taking a small role in it, and in that, I find it very exciting.
Sure. For the gospel to go into Iran, the walls come tumbling down. Hopefully.
That's right.
Yep. Well, Genesis chapter 6. Last week was a doozy. Talking
Wasn't it?
about the giants. And I could just, young adults, we were talking about that, like when the rapture happens. How is the world going to explain away the rapture? And we were just discussing about how recently there's been this has been going on forever, but like there's like all this talk about like aliens in the news, even like with Obama and Donald Trump,
Just
like
recently,
the big thing
yeah.
that just dropped. Like Donald Trump was like, Obama said too much about the aliens.
Yeah,
shouldn't have
it's
said
like,
that.
Is this true or false? He goes,
He's like, he said too much. He said too
Yeah.
much. We're just kind of
It's
saying
like-
that it's all true.
Sure.
So we were talking about how our society is being prepped to accept the fact that when all these people just get disappeared in the rapture, well, the aliens did it. They were all just probed, and the aliens took them away for some reason. And maybe the Antichrist will be able to come on the scene and say, yeah, the aliens took them, and here are the aliens. And then we have this fallen angel Nephilim deception thing
Sheesh.
coming onto the scene. This supernatural, because as Jesus says, as in the days of Noah, so shall it be in the end times. And in the days of Noah, there was some weird stuff going on. But we talked about that, and now we're up to speaking a little bit about Noah in verse 13 of Genesis chapter 6.
oh wow,
This is a good little section, him getting ready to prepare the
I
ark.
thought we were in 7.
No,
I
you
forgot.
cut us off
Well,
because
we
school
were-
was ending. Yeah. But we don't have any students on today, so if we can just talk and talk and talk
That's
forever,
right.
I'll have you here till after lunch, Hagen.
Oh boy.
Especially with this one. Yeah, I got some interesting things. Even you thought Nephilim was crazy.
Just
You wait until you hear about spirit prison.
Okay.
Verse 13 says, And God said to Noah, The end of all flesh has come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them. Who's the them?
The
Nephilim,
people.
The Nephilim. And behold, I will destroy them with the earth. Make yourself an ark of gopher wood. Make rooms in the ark and cover it inside and outside with pitch. That term pitch there is interesting. It's the same word in the Old Testament for a covering, and it's also the same term we see in Exodus and Leviticus for the atonement. The atonement, the covering. When the high priest once a year would go in and sprinkle the blood, he would cover the Ark of the Covenant with blood, and the idea is that he's covering the people's sins with the blood, and that's ultimately a picture of Jesus, is that he covers our sins with his blood. Because the pitch, what does it do in the ark? Well, it keeps the water out. You want, when you're having a boat, I'm no seaman. I'm no sailor. What, there's another term for that. Yeah, I'm no oceanographer, but I do know that you want the water on the outside of the boat, not the inside.
That's right.
And so the pitch, this tar substance, would keep the water out. Now, the water, we're going to see that there, even though this is a historical event, the flood did happen around 4,000 years ago. There is an imagery here. There is some pictures here. The water very clearly represents God's wrath. And if you're on the inside of the boat, you're safe from the wrath. And what keeps the wrath from coming into the boat? Well, the pitch, the covering. And we could say that we're safe from God's wrath because we're in Jesus. And
Judgment.
I'm sorry, yeah. What did I say?
I mean wrath instead of
wrath, judgment.
Same
Yes,
idea.
we're safe from
Right.
his judgment. We're safe from his wrath because we're in Jesus. We're in the boat, and his blood, the pitch, the tar keeps the water from coming in, keeps the wrath from coming in because we're in him. So that's kind of, we see this all kind of as a picture here.
So this is the ark.
This is the ark.
This is the famous Noah's ark.
Yep.
That is being brought up the first time in verse 14. And there's kind of three arks in the Old Testament. Is that right?
I can only think of two right now, but I'm sure you know what the third is.
There's-
Oh, the Ark of the Covenant.
Okay.
And then Moses. Right?
Yes.
Is that one?
Right.
Okay, and then this one.
So Noah's ark,
Yeah.
Moses' ark,
Yeah, his
and that
little
Moses
basket.
was put in a little basket.
Yeah.
Ark,
Two of those arcs are very impressive.
and then the Ark of the Covenant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess Moses would be a picture of that as well. So he was drawn out of the water, which is where we get the term Moses from.
By
Drawn
who?
out. Pharaoh's daughter.
Which is a picture of what? Holy Spirit.
Do you think so?
Why not?
Yeah, but that's the reason why you do want to be a little careful with these pictures. Because you can just say whatever you want.
Yeah.
You can make up whatever you want. You don't get theology from pictures. It's like when Catholics would maybe teach that Mary's the Ark of the Covenant because she carries the presence or whatever inside of her, and it's just like, yeah, I don't know. It's like you could, yeah. It's like, well, yeah, you don't want to, and then they use that as evidence for why we want to exalt Mary, and it's like, no, you can't just make up a picture in the Old Testament and use that as evidence.
Yeah.
You're doing it backwards. So,
Yes.
yeah. Let's see. So it's made out of gopher wood. I don't know what gopher wood is. I'm assuming it's a nice, sturdy, strong wood, but I wouldn't know. Verse 15, and this is how you shall make it. The length of the ark shall be 300 cubits, and its width 50 cubits, and its height 30 cubits. A cubit is about 18 inches. It's about the length from your fingers to your elbow, so you can kind of measure things. Maybe we should bring that back, Hagen. How many cubits is this table?
That's right.
Hey, how, yeah.
Remember last week we were trying to figure out how tall someone was compared to a water bottle? It's like, how many water bottles are you?
Yeah, how many cubits? Yeah, that's what we do in America. We don't use meters or centimeters. We use feet.
Yeah, why would we
Cubits.
want something divisible by 100 or a 10? That would be way too
We
easy.
want 12,
Yeah,
and then it's
60s.
like miles is like 300 and 200, 3,258 or something like that.
64 maybe? 3,264?
Yeah, it's like, that's the number we want. How many feet are in the miles? But I have it written down here. The ark would be 450 feet long. So a little bit longer than a football field, which is 100 yards long. It's 75 feet
A
wide.
football field is how big? Oh, 300 feet.
Yeah,
right.
100 yards, yeah.
So it would be a big, okay.
Yep. 3 feet in a yard. Yep. Which when you're watching football, it's like a yard seems way smaller. But then you realize, I guess a yard's not that big. Like growing up, you think, oh man, a yard's massive.
I mean, 3 of these squares, I think. Well, no, those are 2, probably.
Yeah, 1.5. So yard's not that big. Yeah, but the ark was about a little bit larger than the football field, 75 feet wide, 45 feet high. So this rectangular box structure. Let's see, verse 16. You shall make a window. You shall make a window for the ark, and you shall finish it to a cubit from above, and set the door of the ark on its side. You shall make it with a lower, second, and third deck. And behold, I myself am bringing floodwaters on the earth to destroy from under heaven all flesh, in which is the breath of life from under heaven. All flesh, everything that is in the earth shall destroy. But I will establish my covenant with you, and you shall go into the ark. You, your sons, your wife, and your sons' wives with you, and of every living thing of all flesh you shall bring 2 of every sort into the ark to keep them alive with you. They shall be male and female, of the birds after their kind, of animals after their kind, and of every creeping thing of the earth after its kind. 2 of every kind will come to you. Keep them alive. Don't accidentally kill the last hamster. That'd be bad, because then there'll be no more hamsters. Keep them alive, Noah. Verse 21, and you shall take for yourself of all food that is eaten, and you shall gather it to yourself, and it shall be food for you and for them. Thus Noah did according to all that God commanded him. So he did.
So 3 layers, 3rd floor, multi-layered ship.
Yep. Some people think, because we just read about how Noah's going to have to bring 2 of every kind of animal. Some people think, how could God fit all the animals in this football field-sized boat? The answer is easy. Just bring the baby animals. You don't need the full-size T-Rex. You just need the baby T-Rexes. They're only going to be in there for about over a year, so it's not too much of a problem. I have written here you could fit 522 boxcars in that space. So I don't think there'd be much of a problem fitting all these baby animals there. And then also you think you don't need 1 of every single kind of dog. You don't need a German Shepherd and a Heeler and a Lab. You just need 2 dogs, because from those 2 dogs we get all of our dog descendants today.
And maybe not even dogs, but
wolves, like, yeah, right. Sorry. Yep.
So even less.
Not even cats, lions, I guess. Which is crazy to think that from the lion.
Is that true?
I think so.
The house cat came from a lion. I know dogs came from more like wolves, but I'm not sure in the cat world.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe there's like maybe they have like a common ancestor.
Yeah.
And they kind of split off. Yeah.
I don't know much about cats.
Me neither. Yeah, cats are interesting. But yeah, that's how they would all fit. So don't let people say that this is completely unreasonable. Although it is miraculous. It's crazy. Building this big old boat. It's wild, but it's not impossible by any means, or it doesn't go against the laws of physics. We see here, I think this is the first covenant, the first time we see the term covenant. Covenant just means a deal or agreement or partnership. There's really 2 kinds of covenants that you can make with someone. You can make an unconditional covenant or a conditional covenant. Most of our deals or covenants that we have are conditional. You go to the Fizz Factory and you make a covenant with them. I give you this $10. You give me this jalapeno cream cheese burger. It's conditional. If you don't give me the burger, I'm not going to give you the $1. It's a give and take. There are some unconditional covenants that we have. Marriage would be one where we enter an unconditional covenant. So no matter what, I'm supposed to stay with my wife. Maybe would there be a condition there?
Well, till death do us part.
Till death do us part. Yeah. So really unconditional in that sense. Yeah. But usually partnerships are unconditional. God says, I'm going to protect you. And I would see this as pretty much an unconditional covenant that you guys just go into the ark, and once you're there, you're going to be safe. I'm going to do my end, and you'll be good.
So verse 17 tells us, just for clarity, why he's doing this. He's doing it to destroy. He says, to destroy from under heaven all flesh, in which is the breath of life. Everything that is on the earth shall die. It's either in the ark or it's going to die. This is it. Two options. You're either on board or you're dead.
Yeah.
You're going to drown. This is what God is doing. He's judging the entire planet in the days of Noah.
Yep.
And Noah and his family get saved. They get rescued. They have the covenant, like you just said. Back to verse number 8. Why? Because Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. So the Noahic covenant is a covenant of verse 8, grace.
Yes. Noah did everything God commanded him to do. Verse 22 tells us Noah built this ark. Probably had his 3 boys help him. I think it took him, I forget where it says, it took him a while. It took him probably like 100 years or something to build this ark. Elsewhere in the Bible, I forget where else, but it talks about how Noah was a preacher of righteousness. So Noah was trying to get people to listen to him about how the world's going to be flooded and this is the one way to be saved. But nobody listened. So that'd be kind of discouraging to preach for over 100 years and no one listened except for your family. Imagine if me and you, Hagen, were the only righteous people on the whole planet.
It'd be rough, wouldn't it?
Me, you, and Avery will say. And we're just trying to convince people to get into this boat. But no one wants to listen.
Yes.
That'd be kind of sad.
And it doesn't quite say it, but we can imply maybe, people would think maybe Noah was crazy. It's like, here's this crazy guy building a boat.
Crazy Noah,
and he's just like, it's like, how do you know what to build? Well, God told me. God told you how to build a boat. Yeah, he told me how to build a boat. And he told me that the window has to be right here.
Yeah.
It can't be over there. It has to be right here. You're kidding me, right? No, God wants the window here. And it's just like,
and he said it's going to rain. I was like, what's rain?
Sure.
And then
so it's like there's a bit of mockery and maybe silliness to the world or from the world to what Noah is doing in his obedience to the Lord. And yet that's exactly what God has for him.
Yep.
So don't feel like you're alone.
Yeah.
When people mock you.
Whenever I feel
for
silly,
following Jesus,
I say I'm just like Noah.
That's right.
Yes. First Peter chapter 3 verse 18 kind of gives us a little. This is an interesting verse.
Okay.
Get ready. But I think I recently have learned about this verse, and I think there's insight. It says, "For Christ also suffered once for sins, the just for the unjust, that he might bring us to God, being put to death in the flesh, but made alive by the Spirit, by whom also he went and preached to the spirits in prison, who formerly were disobedient, when once the divine long-suffering waited in the days of Noah, while the ark was being prepared, in which a few, that is 8 souls, were saved through water." Interesting passage. There's a couple different interpretations. Some people read this and say this is saying that Jesus Christ died for our sins, the just for the unjust. He was just, we're unjust. He took our place. He was buried, and then while he was buried, he went to hell and preached to the spirits who were in prison. Some people say that that was the Old Testament saints, only it can't be the Old Testament saints because it very clearly says that these spirits were the ones who were formerly disobedient when the divine long-suffering waited in the days of Noah. So these would have to be the people who rejected Noah's message. So then some people say, well, then Jesus went down to hell and he was like proclaiming that he beat death to these people in the days of Noah, like proclaiming, not like preaching the gospel to him, but just like proclaiming, like, hey, I beat you.
Letting them know I did
yeah.
it. Yeah.
But that doesn't really work either because Jesus hasn't risen from the dead yet. This would be before he rises from the dead. So the timing's off. It's a little weird. What I've heard...
What's the right answer,
The right answer, I gave you 2 wrong answers. I'm going to give you the right answer, is that it would seem, if you just kind of read it, God being put to death in the flesh, but made alive by the Spirit, by whom, by who? By the Spirit, he went and preached to the spirits who are now in prison. So it seemed that Jesus, through Noah, spiritually, was preaching through Noah to these people who were alive then in the days of Noah, but then died and went to hell, went to spirit prison, we could say. So Jesus didn't go to hell and preach to people in prison there. It's just saying that through Noah, Jesus was preaching to these people while they were alive. Does that make sense? I like that idea that while Noah was here, Noah was preaching, Jesus was using him. And even though Jesus hadn't even come yet, Jesus was speaking through Noah. I like that idea because Jesus can speak through us. And when we don't have the words to say, or we don't know what we're doing, Jesus can kind of use us, and Jesus can be proclaimed through in the Spirit through us, just like he was through Noah. So, and that for me, that's the simplest answer. It makes the most sense. Earlier on in 1 Peter, he talks about how the Spirit spoke through the prophets of old. So it kind of makes sense in the context of what Peter's been talking about, how the Holy Spirit can use people and have Jesus speak through people. So it all makes sense. Now, I don't want to bring this up too much farther, but recently I have been thinking about this. I know this is a little off track, but Hagen, do you think Jesus went to hell?
No.
Yeah.
I do not think that. Do you?
A lot of people do.
Because of one of the creeds.
Yeah.
It talks about how he descended into hell.
The Apostles' Creed.
Yeah. But I'm not a big fan of that idea.
Yeah, every time I've heard that, I think there were some people in Bible college who would talk about that. I don't think they were ever like super dogmatic. I've met other people who were like, no, Jesus went to hell. And like they were completely certain. And they're like, yeah, this is how it is. But I don't think the Bible teaches that. I think whenever it talks about, it says that you will not leave his body in Sheol. That term for Sheol could be used for hell, or it could just be used for the grave.
Right.
And more
That
often than not, it's just graving. Yeah, he was not left in the grave. He rose up from the dead. And then when Jesus was hanging on the cross, he said, Father, into thy hands I commit my spirit, implying that he went to heaven, not to hell. He went up, not down.
Today you will be with me in
today
paradise.
You'll be with me in paradise. So then it gets really weird where it's like, well, Jesus, he died, he went to heaven, and then he had to go back down to hell, and then he went to his body and then rose from the dead. It's like, what are we doing here? And then people tie that in with the whole, and I even heard this yesterday on like Bridge Bible Talk.
Okay.
On their whole hell has these two compartments. No. It was not Bridge Bible Talk. It was To Every Man an Answer while I was driving around with Josh. And they were saying, hell.
That's what you guys were doing all afternoon. I was curious.
Hell has these two compartments. And there's the place for like the righteous saints in the Old Testament and then the suffering saints. And Jesus came down and freed them all and brought them to heaven. My problem with that is that, one, nowhere does it really say that. People get that idea from Luke 17 with the story of the rich man and Lazarus, but it doesn't say that Lazarus is in hell. It just says that there's this great divide between the rich man and Lazarus, which could just be heaven and hell. Like, it doesn't have to be both hell. But when Elijah didn't die, Elijah was caught up. It literally says, and I had to double check it because I was like, no way does it say this. It literally says that Elijah just went to heaven. It says that he was caught up in a fiery chariot and was taken to heaven.
There's no holding place.
Yeah, it's like Elijah just went straight to heaven. He's an Old Testament saint before Jesus, and that would imply that all the Old Testament saints, when they died, they just got to go to heaven. Because they were looking forward to Jesus and Jesus's blood, even though it hadn't been spilled yet. The lamb was slain before the foundation of the world, so it could be applied to them too. So I would say they just went to heaven. There's no need for a holding place.
Right.
Yeah.
And people, that verse you read a little bit, but then also maybe in Ephesians about leading captivity captive.
Yeah.
People are trying to make sense of that with all these other things. But it
could just be us, like we're slaves to sin, and he freed us.
He came from heaven, descended from heaven to earth, to lead captivity, us captive, or whatever. Like he set us free. He didn't go somewhere spiritually and set people who were spiritually captive free. Yeah. So, and
it makes the most sense to me, and I think it's important because I was kind of looking into like, okay, the Mormons believe in this idea of spirit prison in the sense that after you die, you can receive the gospel, and they would maybe use verses like this to say that, like, here are these people who are dead, and Jesus went and preached to them. And it's like, well, that's not what it's talking about. And once you're dead, you don't get another opportunity. It's appointed for man once to die, and then comes the judgment. Hebrews something.
That's right.
11, I think. So that was my little side tangent about Spirit Prison.
Well,
That's just been on my mind, so
Yeah.
I figured I'd share with you. Because, again, I just like to let you know what's been going through my head.
Well, we wonder.
Yeah.
We definitely wonder.
Sometimes we wonder.
Yes.
But back to Genesis chapter 7. You want to keep going into chapter 7? It all kind of goes together.
Do you think we can do the whole chapter?
Maybe. Probably. You want me to read it?
Oh, yeah.
You got a lunch date or something?
Well, no, I mean, I still have a whole hour till I have to take Ellie.
Oh, yeah.
I got time to kill.
Might as well just, you got time to kill. So
Might as well talk
let's
to
just
you.
talk about this. Okay. Verse 1. Then the Lord said to Noah, "Come into the ark, you and all your household, because I have seen that you are righteous before me in this generation. You shall take with you 7 each of every clean animal, a male and his female. 2 each of the animals are unclean, a male and his female." That's kind of cute. You got the pig and the pig's girlfriend, the male and his female. Aw.
That's right.
Also 7 each of birds of the air, male and female, to keep the species alive on the face of all the earth. For after 7 more days, I will cause it to rain on the earth 40 days and 40 nights, and I will destroy from the face of the earth all living things that I have made. And Noah...
Do you just want to read it or you want to talk about it?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
Well, my first thing is, what's this whole clean and unclean thing? Because this is predating Leviticus, right?
Sheesh.
This is predating Exodus. This is predating the law. And yet God makes a distinction even before Sinai about clean and unclean. Isn't that interesting?
Isn't that interesting? So we shouldn't be eating unclean animals today?
I don't know.
Can you tell me?
Yes.
Yeah, it is interesting. I mean, clean animals, yeah, would be sheep. Or maybe it's just saying that God, there's always animals that God wants sacrificed to him. And there's always animals that God doesn't want sacrificed to him. Because people say they had to bring extra of the clean animals so they would have some to sacrifice.
Right. And he's going to sacrifice when he lands.
Yeah. So that would make sense to me. That God only wants certain animals sacrificed to him. So this isn't about eating.
So we'll get into this, I think. But it's like, so how does Noah know which ones are clean and which ones are unclean? It's easy. The ones that come in the group of 7 are the clean ones.
Yeah.
The one that there's only 2 of must be the unclean ones.
That's true.
It's like, because God brings them, we'll see.
He doesn't
So
have
it's
to
like,
go out butterfly catching.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, there's 7 of those. Those must be clean.
14, yeah.
Yeah.
Boys and girls, yeah. Okay, I like that. Verse 7 says, "So Noah with his sons and his wife and his son's wife went into the ark because of the waters of the flood, of clean animals, of clean animals, of animals that are unclean, of birds, and of everything that creeps on the earth. 2 by 2 they went into the ark to Noah, male and female, as God had commanded Noah. And it came to pass after 7 days that the waters of the flood were on the earth in the 600th year of Noah's life, in the 2nd month, and the 17th day of the month. On that day, all the fountains of the great deep were
When is that? Do you have a note about that?
No.
That date's significant.
Oh,
Is it Passover?
Maybe.
The timing changes, but it might be Passover.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or it's when he lands. There's a significance to either the landing or the raining. Keep going. Let me see if I can find something on this.
Yep. All the fountains of the great deep were broken up, and the windows of heaven were open, and the rain was on the earth 40 days and 40 nights. That verse implies or tells us that, yes, it's raining down water from above, but the fountains of the great deep were broken up, so there's water coming from the ground too. So it's kind of, they're being flooded. The seas are rising, but there's also rain coming down. So everything's really being shooken up here in the earth. Again, some people think of Pangea, the idea that all the continents used to be together, but there was this cataclysmic event that broke everything up, broke up all the foundations of the planet, and caused there to be a lot of water, which we have today. Did you find it?
I'm still looking.
Okay. We're going to see, with that idea, we're going to see this creation of a new world. Again, with this idea, this picture of, like, we have Noah and his family. God's wrath comes. They are protected in Jesus through the wrath. and then they get to step into this new world. You can see that as a picture of Revelation in the end times. These people have to go through the tribulation, but then they get brought into the millennial kingdom, the new world. But you could also see it with our relationship with Jesus, that we're in Jesus, so God's wrath has passed over us, and then now we're new creations. We have a new life. We're in the new world, we could say already, spiritually. 1 Corinthians 5:17 says, the old things have passed away. Behold, all things are new. So now we're new creations in Jesus. So you can see it as a picture for us personally with Jesus, as well as with the end times.
There's a date in Genesis 8 that'll be significant next time.
Okay, stay tuned. Which brings up the thing we skipped over 2 weeks ago. We didn't talk about this idea that some people didn't have to go through the flood. And I didn't say some people, I mean one person. And who is that?
Enoch.
So really we have three groups of people. We have people who escape the flood, people who go through the flood, and people who perish in the flood. And we would,
which one are you?
Yeah, we would say the same thing for the world today. We know that God's wrath is going to be poured out again soon, with fire this time, not with water. It's going to be poured out soon. There's going to be three groups of people: people who escape the wrath, people who have to go through the wrath, and then people who perish in the wrath. We as a church, we are going to be Enoch. We are Christ's body, so we're going to be raptured up. But then there's going to be people, the Jewish nation primarily, who have to go through the 144,000 Jewish people who are sealed, will go through the tribulation, which will be no fun. And I bet it wasn't very fun on that smelly ark for a year. But that kind of sucked. Go through the wrath.
Through yet protected,
just like the Revelation chapter 7, the 144,000 who are sealed and protected. But then there's the people who perish. So we see that idea.
Yeah.
Just more evidence for why we believe in the rapture. Just more ideas scattered throughout the Bible.
Sure.
Because we don't believe in the rapture because of one verse. We believe in the rapture because of the whole Bible.
That's right.
As you would say.
Yes.
Where did we leave off? Verse 13?
Yeah.
Okay. On the very same day, Noah, Noah's sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and Noah's wife, and the three wives of his sons with them, entered the ark. They and every beast after its kind, all cattle after their kind, every creeping thing that creeps on the earth after its kind, and every bird that after its kind, every bird of every sort. And they went into the ark to Noah, 2 by 2 of all flesh, in which is the breath of life. So those that entered, male and female of all flesh, went in as God had commanded him, and the Lord shut him in. Who had to close the door of the ark? Who had to say, no more time to enter the ark? Jesus did. And in every single person's life, there's a door of opportunity. There's a door to be saved and door to accept Jesus. And who gets to close that door?
Wow.
The Lord does.
That's interesting.
And there's a time when it's like you reject Jesus, you reject Jesus, you reject Jesus, and the door will be closed. It's not our job. It wasn't Noah's job to say, you're done. Door's closed. Noah didn't have to close the door. God closed the door.
I see that from Noah and his family's perspective, in that God's closing them in.
God's locking them in.
Right.
God's saying you can't get out.
Yeah, like their salvation. God closes the door in keeping us saved.
That works both ways.
So that
you can't get out.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's like, well, did I shut the door right? And it's like, no, are you sure you did this right? It's like, I didn't do it. God did it.
That's good. I like that.
And he seals
Once
me.
you're in
he
Jesus,
seals me
you're
in the
sealed
ark.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Facts. Wow. It's just how our brains work together, Hagen.
That's right.
That's what the people came here to see. Verse 17, now the flood was on the earth 40 days. The waters increased and lifted up the ark. Just imagine the water falling, and the ark just starts to go, and like lifts up in the air and kind of wobbles back and forth. And all the animals are like, whoa. It's just kind of crazy.
Yeah.
The water prevailed and greatly increased on the earth, and the ark moved about on the surface of the waters. And the water prevailed exceedingly on the earth, and all the high hills under the whole heaven were covered.
This is a local flood, or?
Nope. All the high hills under the whole heaven. Even what's Mount Everest? I was like, what's the tallest mountain on the world? Mount Everest. So the people who say I would just climb up to the top of the mountain, well, if you do that, you're still gonna get covered too. It's gonna be no good. And the water prevailed exceedingly on the earth. Oh, verse 20. The water prevailed 15 cubits above the mountains and upward, and the mountains were covered. So the idea is...
How many yards is that?
That's a good question, actually. That's like 21 feet, so that's like 3 yards.
7 yards?
7. Yeah, 7 yards. Yeah. So 7 yards above the tippity top of the mountain. So it's a lot of water. Verse 21, and all flesh died that moved on the earth, birds, cattle, beasts, and every creeping thing that creeps on the earth, and every man, every single human being died. Verse 22, all in whose nostrils was the breath of life, of the spirit of life, all that was on dry land died. So he destroyed all living things that were on the face of the ground, both man and cattle, creeping thing and bird of the air. They were destroyed from the earth. Only Noah and those who were with him on the ark remained alive, and the waters prevailed on the earth 150 days. Everyone except the fish died.
Yep.
And this is kind of a crazy thing. The whole world dies. It's kind of like, whoa, this is dramatic, but it's God showing how seriously he takes sin and how seriously he takes the line of the Messiah, as we would interpret it. And yeah, it's serious stuff. And one day it's going to happen again. Not in the flood, but in the tribulation. Because he promises not to flood the world again. Yeah.
And if someone wanted to hop on that boat before the door was shut,
yeah,
they could have, right?
They could have. Anyone could have.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was available to anyone.
Yep.
But not everyone took it.
Nope. Only 8 people. If you had to go on the ark with 7 people, who would you want to go on the ark with?
7 other people?
Yep, and repopulate the whole earth.
Okay. Well, when you say it like that, it sounds a little weird.
Okay.
It's like I'm picking someone to...
Forget about that part. Forget about that part.
If you just had to be stuck on a boat for 150 days, who would you pick?
With 7 friends, yeah.
Yeah, plus a bunch of animals.
Yeah.
Well, you'd be on the list,
Stop.
Jordan. I'm sure. I don't know.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Is everyone else dead, or?
Yeah, everyone else is dead.
That makes
so no pressure.
Yeah, more interesting.
Yeah.
You'd pick Dwayne.
Well, you need someone to take care of the animals.
He'd be good at that.
Yeah,
huh?
he's strong.
Okay. Who else?
I don't know. Probably my wife.
Ariana Grande. So that she could play Wicked.
You could, what?
Isn't she in Wicked?
Yeah. What, she watched on TV or something?
No, she could like act it out. There's no TV. You're on a boat.
Oh yeah. Silly me. Yeah. Golly. Yeah, they had to eat like cold food all the time. Couldn't heat it up.
No microwaves.
Yeah. It's like, well, maybe they did.
Have microwaves?
Yeah, we didn't even talk about that. We think of building the ark as being really difficult, and it probably was. But maybe they had better technology back then.
Maybe.
They built the pyramids. Noah could probably figure out how to build a boat. So maybe they did have microwaves or powerful things.
Different ways of cooking.
Yeah. And construction. Yeah, maybe. We don't know.
Did the Nephilim help build the ark?
No, but Noah just knew what was going on. He stole their ideas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Used the technology.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited for next week to hear about this chapter 8 date stuff.
Yeah, there's something there.
That's going to be exciting. What you got going on the rest of today?
Let's see. What is today? Tuesday. Wow. Gonna drop the kids off at school.
Yep. I had my first worship.
How was that?
That was great. Yeah.
Everyone was quite a little hype for
I really got a little taste of it.
Everyone's like, he's gonna do it.
And now I think I'm doing it Sunday.
Sunday?
Yeah, why not?
For church?
Why not?
You mean downstairs?
I'll take Lee's. No, I'll take Lee's place.
For everyone?
Yeah, why not?
Couldn't think of a good reason why.
House, my light. Everyone would love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll work towards that.
Hey, it's good to have a goal.
Yeah. I don't know if Lee wants to do this forever.
Sure.
So I might as well replace him. I'll be youth ministry, children's ministry, podcast ministry,
worship ministry.
I'll just do it all.
Hey, who says you don't have all the gifts?
Yeah. Who said, yeah, you can't have every single gift?
Prophecy, tongues,
Paul says, do all
interpretation.
speak in tongues, do all prophesy. No, but Jordan does it all.
Yes. Well, good.
Amen.
Yeah.
Well, good. Oh, yep. Thanks for talking with me today, Hagen.
Of course. Well, I guess we'll get into this next week. I was going to say, should we worry about a flood?
No.
But we'll see that come together next week.
No. It'll all come together.
Yeah.
Once Noah lands. Yep. Okay. Well, what?
We better go.
Yeah, we better go. Good talking to everyone.
Good talking to you.
See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.